Good morning, everybody. Great to see you this morning. Thanks so much for coming to the Win Team. We talked a few days ago about the baseball game and winning the game and how to win the game with particular reference to your book of business. And a number of you asked me to go more granular on what that process is with who should be in your 30, 60, and 90-day column in Bob. So I'm going to give you a quick overview for about 5 minutes to set the stage. And then we're going to go into how do I know which are the most important clients? Probably one of the most common challenges I've seen with agents through the years is agents really struggling in defining who are their primary clients, who should they be spending time with. So if you'd like to know who you should spend your time with so that you can produce more escrows, more listings, more closings, then this morning is for you. So building your success in your real estate business, remember it's a business, it's not a job, is like winning a baseball game. And you've always got those two questions. I ran over them with you. One, what are you doing? That's your performance tracker, right? And two, who are you doing it with? The bottom line is you can't win a baseball game unless there are enough players. So you know I always talk about volume. Unless there's volume in your business, it's the volume in your business that creates enough opportunity for the funnel to produce a really good living in real estate. So are there enough players in the game to score the runs you need to win? I gave you that analogy of it's bottom of the ninth. You're 5-2 down, or let's say 6-2 down. You've got a man, the batter is up, you've got one man on base. It's bottom of the ninth. You've got two outs. You're not going to win that game, right? So again, that's like you've got something that fell out of escrow. You've only got one left in, but you need two to close for the month. That's all about management. That's all about managing your players. So you're on base, bottom of the ninth, 6-2 down, batters up, one man on base, two outs. How do you win that game? And so you feel this tremendous pressure at the end of the game. I've got to get another escrow. I had one fall out of escrow. I got to get another escrow. I got to get not just 2 runs, but then the guys have got to come back. I've got to put another batter up. I got to get 3 more runs. How am I going to do that? How am I going to load the bases? And at the bottom of the ninth, it's too late. It's too late in the game. And so you feel pressure, then you feel defeat, then you start, all of that mental process. And the answer is always the same. Make sure that you have pitchers warming up over there. Make sure you've got the bases loaded, and make sure you've got ample players lined up to step up and hit that ball. So all about putting the right clients on base, enough clients on base, and then when they are on base, keeping them moving. So the secret of Bob is constantly stealing bases. I'm going to ask you the question flat out. Do you have enough people on base in your book of business, which is 8 in your 30, 8 in your 60, 8 in your 90, right? That is how you build that stability, that predictability in your business that you in the future, a year, 2 years, 3 years from now, depending how fast you grow, how much you want to grow. Some people will say, I've got 8, 8, and 8. I'm good. I don't want VAs. I don't want support. I don't want somebody else. I'm good on my own. That's great. If I can help you get there, fantastic. But many of you have the depth of vision that you want to see others helping you with that. So how do you manage that book of business for you and for others in the future because you're building a business? So there's 3 golden rules in this. One, it never goes away. Always be taking and making leads. Any sales company I've ever worked for, the minute they stop prospecting, the minute they stop pushing for new, the minute the bean counters take over and say advertising so expensive, that company within 12 months will start to decline. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Always be taking and making leads. 2, always be defining and refining leads. 3, always be moving leads, which is driving for runs. And I could go deep into that analogy, but I've got somewhere I want to go with this, so I'm going to keep moving forward fast. So in your book of business, who should be in your 90? Who should be in your 60 in Bob? Who should be in your 30? Should the prospect be in Bob at all? Or should they just be tagged and actioned in your CRM, right? So if they shouldn't be 30, 60, 90, they should be tagged. They should be tagged anyway, frankly, but they should be tagged on a property alert, on a market report, on a smart plan, so that you've got a chance, right? You have to create chances that that player could come through. That's why coaches go out to colleges. That's why coaches go out to minor leagues, and not coaches, but recruiters, hunters. That's why they go out, scouts. So there's the word. That's why they go out, because they, just in case they find somebody. So they've got people tagged in minor leagues all over. That's what you have to do. You have to have people tagged that could be engaged by AI and could come forward and come into your book of business. So here are your classifications in B.O.B. You ready for this? Number one, pre-qualifying. Should somebody who's being pre-qualified be in your 30-day column, 60-day column, or 90-day column? Right? So this is your color coding, right? The color code that's in your book of business. I'm going to answer each question very specifically. If somebody's pre-qualifying, should they be in 30, 60, or 90? The bottom line is they could be in either one. It depends on the conversation you've had with them. Have you asked them that very powerful question? When do you need to move into your new home? We need to move within the next 60 days. Then put them in your 60 or 30-day book of business based on the verbal conversation you've had with them about their finances, right? And I've shared this with you many, many times. When they pull up with their car, say, that's a beautiful car, right? Is that your wife's car? Is it your car? Right? Oh, that's my car. Boy, does your wife have one too? Oh, no, we've paid for hers cash. All those questions that you ask, man, you must be doing really well with a car like that. What kind of job do you do? I'm so interested. You hear about their job. Wow, you've been doing that a long time? No, I just started a week ago. Oh, well, that's cool. Congratulations. What were you doing before that? You're asking pre-qualifying questions. So if you ask those questions, I would ask those questions when people came through my open houses. By the time they left, I pre-qualified them in my head, and I'd introduce them to a financial friend. So if you ask the base questions and they're pre-qualifying, and I've taught you enough to know, are they going to qualify or not? They could be in 30, 60, or 90. And that answer is based on, have you asked those questions? Second, showing homes. If somebody's being showing homes, should they be in 30, 60, or 90? Now, sometimes you're going to show homes to people who cannot and will not buy for 90 days. Put them in 90. You've got other people who are showing homes who've told you, again, because you ask the right questions, they'll be in your 30 days. So again, showing homes is based on those precursor questions. It's unusual. A showing homes color, which is purple, will be in 90. If when I see a lot of 90-day showings, it means that you need coaching on writing offers. Because if you got people in 90 days that you're showing homes, you should have a bunch of yellows in 30. So showing homes. Ask yourself, when does this person need to move? And if you haven't asked them yet, ask them the next time you see them. And then you move that purple to 60 or 30 days. Most showing homes should be in 60 or 30 days. Pre-approved. Should they be in 30, 60, or 90? If they're pre-approved, again, and you've had the conversation, they've told you they need to move, you're going to put them in 30 or 60. If they're pre-approved and they say, look, we've got a house for sale in Iowa, we have to wait for it to close, you say, great, how are you doing with offers? Don't have any offers yet. How are you doing with showings? Don't have any showings yet. You're going to put them back in 90. You're going to touch the base with them regularly, at least once a week. How's it going? Send them a little piece of information on your area and move them forward accordingly. That's what I mean, stealing bases. You're stealing bases by asking questions to define, right? What a lot of folks do is they put somebody in showing homes in 90 days and they just sit there. Maybe 2 weeks later, they show another home. They're not driving, they're not stealing bases. They're just waiting for that perfect run, and the perfect runs rarely come. A new client. Should a new client be in 30 days? Could a new client be in 30 days? 100%. I have had multiple hundreds of clients meet me in an open house, call me from something online, and I have a conversation with them. It happened yesterday. I had somebody call me 2 days ago. I met with them yesterday, and my first question, after saying thank you, my first question was, when do you need to make the move? Why do you need to make the move? I don't wait. I asked them right up front. Yesterday, when I showed up to their house, I said, what a beautiful home. This home is ready to sell. When do you need to make a move? Before they'd even open the security screen door, I asked them, when do you need to make a move? Because I'm there to do business. I'm there to be a nice guy, but they are hiring me to do business. Should a new client be in 30 days? If you're asking the right questions, sure. Right? If you haven't asked the right questions yet, don't feel bad. Just start asking the right questions. A new client can be in your 30-day column. When there's a little bit of a danger sign is when you see and you know there's no color code on the new client. They come in and it's just there in the box in B.O.B. If you've got 5 or 6 new clients in B.O.B, that's good. That means that you are loading up your bases. It means you have enough players to win. You're not going to be caught out at the end of the month going, damn, I wanted to do another escrow and I can't because I don't have anybody on base. You don't have anything on base because you didn't take enough leads at the beginning of the month. You didn't have high momentum at the end of the month before. So now you're scrambling. You're bottom of the ninth, right? You're 4 runs down. You got 1 man on base. You can't win the game. So now you got to roll over to the next game. Well, guys, I guess we're going to win the next game in Detroit. You don't want to just win the next game. You want to win this game. And each game is a month. You got 12 games a year, and that's what your stats are based on. So should a new client be in 30 days? Maybe. It depends entirely on the conversation you've had with them. Are you asking those validating questions? Next. Moving the players. How long do you leave an unclassified client in 90 days? I just talked about that. So they come in, they're new, it's Opcity, it's VIP, it's Zillow, it's a Facebook triple opt-in, it's a probate lead, it's a listing lead, right? And they've told you they're not quite ready yet or whatever. How long do you leave them unclassified, where you don't really know about them? If they're unclassified more than 3 or 4 days, then I'm going to be very honest with you, you're not doing your job. Right? You're not investing in that business at that point. A new client comes in, you have that conversation. If you can't reach them, if you can't have a conversation, that new client should be in your CRM, not in your 90-day. Because you want to drive your book of business that you get men on base. Just having men sitting around chewing gum and spitting on the sidelines doesn't do any good. If they're not ready to run out and get on base, you've just got yourself a human body. Put your human bodies over there in your CRM. Your 90-day column should be people that you are talking to, having conversation with, that you're asking the right questions. All right. So moving the players. How long do you leave? Look, it's not just how long do you leave an unclassified client in 90. It's how long do you leave any player in any status? If they're 60 days and they're there more than 60 days, what does that mean? It means that either something unforeseen came up or you're not asking the open-ended questions. Hey, I remember you said to me it was super important to be moved in by August. We're getting pretty close now. It's May. We need 30 days for escrow, right? Which is July. You'll close the end of July. Maybe it rolls over to the beginning of August. You'll be good. So we've got about 30 days to find a home. What have we decided on the type of home that we want? Now you have that conversation because you're respecting the timeline they told you at the beginning. Right? Now, if they now say to you, look, we've decided to roll it back to September. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, what is it that's changed? Oh, we get a job raise at the end of August. We'll be able to qualify for more. Fantastic. Let's get our financial friend on the phone right now. Let them know there's a job raise coming so they can adjust, ready to go. Now you move them back from 60 days into 90 days. Those are the conversations that really show that you're a great coach of your book of business. You are now inking your business rather than just being that realtor running around saying, I got a ton of clients and none of them go into escrow. I have so many people that we interview all the time who go, wow, I've got so many clients. I've got this client. I got that client. And you look back in the MLS, they closed 2 deals last year. Wow, I've got so many people. And it's not because they're bad people. They've just never been trained to manage a ball team. And the ball team is all of the clients. I'm training you to manage a ball team, and that will end up being your inked business. So, offer status. When do I talk about writing offers? What's the answer to that question? When do you talk about writing offers? Now, tomorrow, I'm going to specifically talk about writing offers and give you keys that I use in writing offers, right? Specific focus on writing offers tomorrow. So you can go into the weekend. There's some things that you're not doing, things that you are doing that I can coach you and help you to get more offers. Well, Andy, they're not ready to write offers. No, listen to me. It's not that they're not ready to write offers. You're not ready to write offers, right? When you're ready to write an offer, they'll be ready to write an offer. And if they're not ready to write an offer, you move them back in your book of business. So when do I talk about writing offer? Day one. Word one, introduction one, handshake. Hey, my name's Andrew. Great to meet you. I'm here to write offers for you whenever you find a home that you want to buy. Right up front. Right up. I'm here to fight for you. I'm here to make it happen for you. I'm here to get you into a home. I'm here. How long have you been looking? I'm going to go into that tomorrow. Offers, right? Offer status. Everybody on this team should have at least 2 people under offer status in your 30-day column. I want you to buy into that, guys. Buy into success. Buy into this being a business. Quit BSing yourself. Quit BSing your colleagues. Face the facts. Every single Win team member should have 2 yellow people in their 30-day column. That means you're taking the power moves for success seriously. 2 at all times. Our expectation on the Win team is all of us together that you're writing 2 offers per week, 2 different clients per week, 8 a month, 25% success rate, 2 in escrow, 24 deals a year. That expectation level, I'm working hard to bring up your expectation level because I'm telling you flat out, it absolutely is possible. In escrow, how often do I talk to in escrow clients and what do I talk about? So again, when you have a green in that 30-day column and then a second green in that 30-day column, you need to be speaking with those escrow clients minimum once a week. What do you talk to them about? You're encouraging them. You're motivating them. You're absolutely not raising concerns, questions, negativity, second guessing. You're raising their elevation and expectation to moving into that home. And any obstacle that you come up in the way, we're not going to sit down and have concerned conversations. We're going to have resolution conversations on what ever comes up. And if you can't resolve it, you call Kathy, you call me, we will help you resolve it. How often do you talk to your escrow clients? At least once a week. You call them, you reassure them, you talk to them about the timeline, you talk to them about moving in, and of course, you make sure that you're there to answer their questions on their escrow instructions, to answer their questions on their disclosures, and to manage the physical inspection and the appraisal. Those are the biggies. All right. What about somebody who can't find the right property? Where are they in your 30, 60, 90 book of business? Should they stay in Bob? Again, that depends entirely on you. What about the batter who has struck out the last 10 innings? What about the batter who's waiting for a certain type of curveball? Can you play him? Well, if that curveball, if a pitcher comes up from the other side and he's a curveball pitcher, then you put that guy on base because you know he hits curveballs. So what does that mean? If you can't find the right property for them, that's up to your management. Are you now sending them surrounding areas? Are you giving them that 30,000 square foot, 30,000 foot view? Are you showing them neighboring communities? Are you showing them different types of properties? Are you moving their mind to be open? How do you move their mind? You come back to that question. Why are you moving? When do you need to move? How important is this to you? So if you can't find the right property and it's really important to them to move, absolutely leave them in your Bob. 30, 60, or 90, doesn't matter. Why? Because you know it's important to move. And I guarantee you they're going to compromise. It's just a matter of when, not if. If you've got a kid being bullied in school, if you've got a guy who never sees his kids, or a girl, more so, who never sees her kids because it's too far to drive, she needs to be closer to work, she's going to end up moving into a condo so she can see her children. She's not going to trade house for children. It's not going to happen. 9 times out of 10, it's not going to happen. At some point, that individual is going to make a compromise, but you don't know where to put them in the book of business until you've asked them what's important to them. Bad credit. Should they stay in B.O.B? Again, it's the same answer every time. If they have to move, yes, leave your bad credit in B.O.B. You then get, again, you're the coach, right? You have the lender run the simulator. Your lender runs the simulator, and you ask the lender, how long will it take you to fix this credit? Andy, if they respond to me, I can get it fixed in 30 days. Boom. I've moved somebody 70 points in 30 days and closed an escrow. I've done that, right? So the issue is management. I would look at the simulator. I'd look at the specific things. Okay, that old Verizon collection needs to be paid off. Great. Okay. Then I call the client. You're going to get that Verizon collection paid off. You need to call them. You need to ask them if they'll give you a letter if you pay it off. Yes, they will. Now you make the payment, get the letter. Letter goes to the lender. Lender does a rapid rescore, and away you go. And they usually batch rapid rescore. So bad credit. Yeah, if you're managing it, 100%. 100% they can stay in B.O.B. But if it's just in a line and you go, yeah, they got bad credit, you just got people like hanging out on your baseball field, right? Think of stealing bases. Think of stealing bases by changing bad credit. Stealing bases by having them compromise the property because you asked why they need to move. What about somebody who wants unrealistic interest rates, or an unrealistic payment, or unrealistic property requirement? An investor tells you, I want 50% discount. First of all, if an investor says that, they shouldn't be on your book of business. They should be in your CRM. And if you find a property that's 50% discount, don't call an investor, call me. I'll buy it in a heartbeat, right? So you've got a built-in client, right? Again, if people want unrealistic things, sometimes you have to show them realism, and they gradually adapt to realism. If they're not adapting to realism, sure, move them off your book of business. But have you given them a chance to move bases? Here's the bottom line. I know this is fast today. Is this client a primary client? That's somebody who will buy now. How many primary clients do you have? Oh, Andy, my clients don't work out. Okay. How many leads did you take? How many blitzes did you attend? How many spearheads did you attend with me? How many calls did you make? How much effort did you put into filling the funnel? Well, I want to do more personal business. Well, where's the personal business going to come from? The personal business is going to come from all of these people that you take on leads, that you fill your funnel with, that 2 years from now you don't pay a referral fee on, and you've got a personal book of business. But just wishing you could keep all the commission isn't going to help anybody. That's why 97% of agents in the country don't sell more than 10 homes a year 3 years in a row. Is this a primary client? Are they a buy now client? Is it a secondary client, which is they're going to buy soon? Or is it a tertiary client, which means level 3, they should be in your CRM? Your 30, 60, 90 book of business is buy nows and buy soon. Buy now, buy soon. Buy now, buy soon. All the way across. Well, I don't have enough, Andrew. Great. Go back to the top of the funnel. Attend the spearheads. Make your outbounds. Are you doing your newsletter? Are you doing your batch emails? You're going to hear about that in training today. We're really going to ramp up our support with you in your training mechanisms. We're now paying 3 full-time staff to support you. You're going to hear some announcements today about support that we're doing. Please make sure that you're there at the training and listen really, really closely to what we're doing. Listen, are you working with primary, secondary, or tertiary clients? Now I'm going to wrap up with this. This is a lot. Hopefully this is helpful to you guys. Here you go. Profitable time management. First of all, Google Calendar everything. Every appointment you have, put it on your Google Calendar so you can look back, you can fill out your power performance tracker, and you're tracking what you're doing. But listen, balance your days. Chris just said, Andy, can't hit training this morning because I've got a showing here, then I've got a listing appointment there, then I've got this there. He's balancing his day, right? always have productive revenue generating activity every day. Balance your days. Always be sure you've got primary time for primary movers. Your prime time is that 10 to 12, it's that 2 to 5, it's that Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. That should be filled with primary movers, not just somebody that you're taking out because you're a realtor and you feel like you should be doing something. It's your primary movers. Then you make sure that you schedule time for your secondary movers. So primary movers get scheduled appointments at least once a week, virtual updates, and looms. Are you using looms for your customers? Second, is your secondary movers, the ones who are 60 or 90 days out. Secondary movers, you give them shorter appointments, more virtual appointments, and loom messages. So did you see the difference? Primary movers, they're going to buy. They get scheduled appointments in prime time at least once a week with virtual updates throughout the day and looms. So you're constantly in contact with them. Secondary movers get shorter appointments, more virtual appointments, and loom messages. And this is what I call sandwiching, okay? Sandwich your time slots. Keep secondary and tertiary level clients warm. How do you do that? By drop-bys, video text, and short, highly focused appointments between level 1 and level 2. Now, that is a lot. And that is exactly how I ran a book of business for nearly 3 decades. Primary, tertiary, secondary, calendar, primary slot, primary slot, primary slot, calendar, secondary slot, secondary slot. I've got a tertiary person who maybe they'll work, maybe they won't. Squeeze them in. Hey, Gabriella, I know you get off work at 7. How about we meet at 7:30? I've got one specific property I think you should see. I know you're still getting your credit cleaned up, but let's have a look at that property. It could be interesting to you. Now you've squeezed her in. You've done your primary, you've done your secondary, you've squeezed somebody in. But if you're out spending all day Saturday and all day Sunday with a client who wants to buy a lot for $80,000, or or somebody who isn't yet truly a primary, you're wasting that time. Primaries, primary clients, primary slots. Secondary clients, secondary slots. Fill the top of the funnel so that you have players on base. I don't want any of you ever to get caught out that you're halfway through the month and you're like, oh crap, I wanted to do 3 this month. I've only got 1 in escrow and I've only got 2 clients. This whole thing that I'm teaching you, the entire thing about the 8 power moves, is you drive at the end of the month so you have momentum. You start the new month with multiple people in your funnel. You fill your calendar with primaries and secondaries, and you're constantly at the same time scouting for more players. That is a winner. That is a primary mover. That is a 24 deal a year agent. That is a Cameron K Inc., a Brianna S Inc. I hope that helped you. Any questions, guys? You still there?
Thank you, Andrew.
Any questions, anybody? Comments? You're welcome, Gabriella.
No, it was very clear.
All right. Hopefully you feel inspired and ready to go.
Yes.
Yes, we do. Thank you.
I appreciate you all.